This is Car Guys Talk with Andrew and Tavarish.
Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Freddie Hernandez.
You didn't have enough energy that time. You usually have too much. That was not enough.
See,
I'm going to critique every time you open the show.
I want to tone it down just a little bit.
Are we like public radio now?
Yeah. You know what? You want to pace yourself because we do a few of these in a sitting. I don't want to.
No, man. You know what?
I'm not a firecracker here.
I just had a full cup of coffee after having some Starbucks coffee. I'm like, I need.
Okay, so you do the intro.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Car Guys Talk. Today, me and Freddie are going to talk about cars. We're guys, and we're talking Car Guys Talk. See?
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, I know.
I really enjoyed that. Okay, so this is Car Guys Talk. We talk about cars and car culture and all that stuff. I know, but I feel like
don't steal the spotlight from
me,
I feel
Frederick.
Like
people need specific
they know what they're getting.
Concepts,
they know what they're getting themselves into.
Okay. So we have some questions.
We do have questions. We have questions today. Freddie, we have questions. We're going to answer some questions.
Dude, you need to lay off
whoa,
the coffee
okay,
a little bit.
Listen. I need you to calm down.
Is that coffee or cocaine?
Frederick, I need you to calm down. Frederick, calm down. Frederick.
Is that calm down? Shut up!
All right, let's see. Okay, here's one. I like this one. G_McManus 663 wants to know: have you ever made a mistake while driving, possibly as a teenager / young adult, that led to you crashing? And if so, what lesson did you learn?
Yes,
Same.
I did. I'll let you go first.
I'll let you go first.
Okay,
ladies first. Got him.
Got him. So when I was about 19, I had my first car, and this was before I really did anything to it, Nissan Maxima. And I was with some friends, and I was merging onto the highway. We were on a highway, and for some reason, I don't know, maybe I was talking to my friends or something, but there was like a U-turn that we had to go on, and I ended up getting into a collision with a Nissan Xterra.
Nissan on Nissan Crime.
The Xterra was, both cars were fine. My fender was smashed.
Okay. Were you smashed?
In what way, sir?
Just answer the question. Were you smashed?
No, I wasn't
okay.
smashed. No,
That's good.
No. I was like, my ego was smashed.
Yeah. That's even worse.
My ego was smashed, and, well, I learned that you should definitely pay attention to the road more because
really?
it could have been a lot worse.
I don't know. That's a little.
But also I learned that your friends don't really like they start to leave after like you file a police report and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna go home, and like me with like a broken car, and it wasn't a you find out who your friends really are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it all ended up pretty good because I got at the time, my car had full coverage. So they put a value on it at like $1,000 or something. I think it was like $2,000 worth of damage, but I was like, I could fix that for like $200.
Mm-hmm.
So what I ended up buying was I bought a parts car for $900.
Heck yeah!
And and it was a manual, so I did manual swap.
Oh yeah!
So so I just got some insurance money. But bad part about it is because of my accident, my parents lost that insurance policy. So silver lining, but also dark cloud. It wasn't great, but they're fine now. It's water under the bridge.
Yes.
My dad still doesn't talk to me. You remember that car? Remember that policy? It was sweet. No, that's the only time I ever made a mistake like that. I've never gotten into any other accidents, and I'm usually really, really cautious with anything.
Good.
And I've been known to drive spiritedly at some points. So what about you?
So this is when I had my first car, my '96 Saturn SL2, and I was following a friend to their house down a slick clay road, which they're not common here in Florida. Mm-hmm. But it had just rained and the road was very slick. And the back end of the car, the back two wheels, I guess got upset. Just from the bumps or something.
Yeah.
And it started to step out on me. And being the inexperienced driver that I was, started overcorrecting the other way. Basically, like started
Tank slapper.
Yeah, started like manjiing down this clay road, and eventually went off the road.
I love your little pantomime, like, well, sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right.
Yeah, yeah. And then I ended up going through a barbed wire fence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you okay?
Yeah, totally fine. The car was dented, as was my Eco.
How is that possible? It has dent-resistant side panels.
No.
Sort of.
But it wasn't side panels. It was the hood and front bumper.
Oh, those are not. Yeah,
Yes.
those are not.
So the cool thing is, all that damage was repaired for free because the high school that I attended had a very, very good shop, like body shop program.
So that actually worked in your favor.
And their favor, because they get to learn on how to fix a car, and I get free fixes.
So that's awesome, but you also have the risk of, hey, you have people who have no idea what they're doing work on your car.
You know what? They did a great job. I'm serious. They did a great job.
Okay, so
actually, my buddy Ryan, if you're out there listening, he has a 3000 GT VR4. He at his last year, his senior year, his last semester, he had 4 body shop classes.
oh wow,
Like spent all day in the body shop, and now he works at Ultimate Auto over in Orlando.
my school never had a body shop class.
A lot of schools don't.
It's crazy. So we had an electrical class. I remember I went to like electrical class, and everybody hated it, but I was like, this is kind of cool.
I wish I had that.
But we also did have a teacher that was like kind of the shop teacher is always weird.
Always,
Like
always.
He's never like, hey guys, well today we're gonna learn about this. Like no, there might be some PTSD somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I wish I had a shop class where, we just we're gonna fix this Camaro and do this stuff. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because I lived in New Jersey. I'm sure that there's some shop classes in New Jersey.
I'm sure there are, yeah.
Probably in more rural areas, not like in city areas because everybody's I don't
Public
know,
trans, yeah.
Yeah, space is not a premium. But cool, man. That's interesting. So what happened to that Saturn? Did you?
I sold it. Like a few years later, I sold it, and that's when I got into the car that shall not be named.
So, PT Cruiser. So when you went through the barbed wire fence, is that like? So did you have to repair the fence? I like how you just looked up at me like, what if there's one guy like, wait a minute, when was that? So a few years ago.
This was more than a few years ago.
Oh, when was it? Dates, like specific dates. No, there's Saturn parts all over. I know it was you, Andrew.
It was before 2005. I'll give you that much.
Okay, so in 2004, if you had a,
but I didn't say what part of Florida.
Okay, so there's someone in Florida right now. If you're listening, you are. I know because you definitely are. Then if you have Saturn parts, if you had Saturn parts in your,
there were no parts left behind. Everything stayed attached. They're just broken.
Okay, all right, fine. All right. Well, there's a mystery gate. You're literally a mystery gate crasher. Okay. So we shall actually you go over the questions here because you're better at the reading thing than I am.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm like,
let's see here.
oh, the Icon Garage said something. So
I don't know. Oh yeah. Icon Garage, cool. Let's see.
Okay, I'll just take the Icon Garage's question.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So the Icon Garage is the guy who bought Chris from BS for Builds RX-7.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing kind of a build and fixing all the things that are wrong with it. He asks, biggest challenge you have hosting an automobile-based YouTube channel? The biggest challenge is just making content.
Yep.
It's just a grind making everything and working on the cars and troubleshooting and researching. Researching by itself takes hours. And, and then you have people saying like, why can't you just finish the project? Like, because...
Come over and help me, bro.
Yeah, well, I don't want them to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be like... I like how you're... You have a really... Yep, there you go. There you go. You want to crack all your knuckles. You want to make sure that every single joint is nice and cracked. Well, with any automotive, with any YouTube channel, really, it's just producing content where people don't forget you.
Yep.
So I mean, I made a video today. I released a video today about a review of like Ed Bullion's S500, and it got more dislikes than I would usually get, and that's because it's people that don't like change.
Yeah, it's different.
And they're like,
different kind of content.
I want to see what you use. Like, yeah, but if
Where's the Lambo, you piece of F you? Like,
yeah. No, people are really like, some people are really mad. Like, where is this? Like, it's in the body shop. It's in the body shop. Like, it's in the body shop. It's getting worked on. Like,
look, you can't rush perfection. Okay.
It's not even you can't rush perfection. It's like you can't rush like this is the process. That's exactly how long it takes. So I got word from the body shop that the guy working on the car, I think he got sick or something, so he was just out for a while. I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But I have to leave. I have to go on vacation. So
You have to.
yeah, well, I have. So it's been planned in advance. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I have to go. Like, listen, if I don't go on vacation, we're going to be in the paper. Like, that's just what's going to happen. I'm going to go nuts. And
I forgot what it's like to do vacations. What's that like?
Listen, every day can be a vacation for you. It's called fun employment, Andrew. Okay, it's called fun employment, and I've been enjoying it for years. Okay, you do cry yourself to sleep, but it's okay. Because when you get up, you look and the sun's shining.
Hey, it's okay because after 8 hours, those tears are dry. It's like they were never there.
Yeah, it's like they were never there. You know, you can dry them off with the bills you're not paying. So that's usually how it works working for yourself. Like, oh, more bills. That's great. Oh, yeah, this is woo. Oh, I love that.
By the way, Icon Garage, I'm excited to see what the end product is like with that RX-7.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a cool. That's gonna be a cool build.
Definitely. Okay, so you tell us some of the questions, and I will tell you an answer.
Give me a sec. I just accidentally did the thing.
So Andrew got a new phone, and he's apparently forgotten how to use.
He got a new phone like 4 months ago, and I still don't know how to do it.
Andrew got a new phone 4 months ago, and he still doesn't know where things are.
I still suck at it.
Yeah, it's like you've been living here for 20 years, but you still need GPS to get home.
I don't need that. I'm actually pretty good with directions.
Are you now?
Yeah, I am.
You know, I've actually gotten a little bit like I think even if I know where I'm going, I want to put GPS on because if there's a slowdown or whatever, I've noticed that like when we were driving from New Orleans to Orlando, a lot of people knew the way. But do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
Yes, I know the way, my brother.
You must not go the way of the devil.
So I knew the way, but a lot of people knew the way. But for them to go like on the highway instead of taking a detour, it literally saved us 3 hours.
Yes.
And it was like a mile and a half or something, just a detour.
Yep.
So I think that sort of paid for itself. Like I'm not going to put the destination in, but I'll just keep Waze open or whatever. I think that would be. I think that's a good pro tip. Yeah, it's a pro tip from a pro driver that's never done a professional drive in his life.
Okay, here's a question from JDM.clubs. Hey Tavarish, all caps. What is your favorite engine ever?
All right, my favorite engine ever, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Great answer.
Yeah,
but wrong. It's the 12A.
The 12A. Wow, that is on my. Yes, that's definitely on my short list for all-time great.
Short list or shit?
Yeah. So
that's on my Schindler's list.
It is. So greatest engine ever? Is that what he got?
Your favorite engine.
My favorite engine?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's so weird because I don't have a specific. It's like, what's your favorite car?
Right.
Or like, what's your favorite food? Like, it depends on the time of day. It depends on a lot of other factors.
Well, I already said my answer. I like the 12A a lot.
Is that really your favorite engine of all time?
Yeah. I just think it's cool.
Okay. So what about it?
It's not obviously not from a horsepower or torque standpoint. It's
or
just,
reliability.
No, it's from a reliability standpoint. 35,000 miles in a year I did in my RX-7 with basically no issues.
Wow. Is that good?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
It's
so
cool.
So at 36,000 miles, that's when the apex seals go.
I don't know. I sold it.
Exactly. I did 35,000 miles.
Nah,
what happened to it afterwards? I don't know. Probably needed like a rebuild.
It was a strong little motor. It was easy to work on. It's an honest motor. It's not the fastest or most powerful. It does the thing, and it sounds cool. And you can do some cheap mods to it to have fun with it.
Sure. Sure. No, I totally get that. It's a good package.
Yeah.
I like that. I also like the 2JZ is a everybody says that. I love the 2JZ. I like it. I'm not in love with it. I think it's one of those things like the LS. I love the form factor. I love the fact that you can put it in anything. It makes a ton of power just right out of the box. You can get them from a junkyard for like nothing, and they're really reliable. I don't know. Something about them. I just don't like it. I don't like the rudimentary nature. They're real, like just push rod V8s.
They're kind of plain Jane.
They're very plain Jane. They don't sound very good. Like they sound good in Corvettes. If you have a Corvette with like a Loppy idle, then it makes sense. But if it's an RX-7, I don't like them. So I would say, I don't know. Maybe the Lamborghini V10. I like it.
Solid
like it
motor, sounds good, lots of power.
Yeah, it's
and actually, from at least from my point of view, it seems pretty small for what it is. Like it packs a punch.
It's not a huge engine.
Yeah,
I mean, a 5 liter. It's still
it's going to take up some space. But I'm saying there's still a lot of space in that engine bay in that Lambo.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's a good. I think that engine's probably. Well, I mean, in terms of.
Oh God! Here
no,
we go.
No.
Okay,
in terms of price, I mean, it's very expensive.
Very.
So it's like if you buy a new one, it's like $50,000. So yeah. So I'm not sure. That's probably my favorite engine just because I have one. But maybe in terms of like practicality, I would say the Mercedes M113. That's the 5 liter in my S Class.
Okay.
It's the 5.4 liter supercharged one in my SL. They made a billion of them. They make a ton of power, really reliable. They have like one Achilles heel where it's like this oil pressure thing, but you can easily fix that. And I think that's probably my favorite engine. Not for sound wise, but it's still it's awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so what else we got?
So we got one from Francisco Jr. H. When are you going to buy and fix a classic car in the future, like a classic Austin Mini, a motor swap, or something like that?
So we were just talking about this.
We were just talking about this.
So you should present the idea to our viewers.
Sure, yeah. I would like to. I just think it would be fun to work on some kind of like maybe older, just American car. I've never really been into them that much, but I don't know. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a fun project. I have a secret end goal that I would like to use the car for. So,
well, it's. I think you can say what the goal is, but just not the person. I think.
I'm just gonna.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there's a secret end goal. It's more of like a charity build, I'd say.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah. So it'd be like a charity build, and it would be perhaps like we were talking about, Mustangs, maybe Camaros, something like that. Something that you can buy from the '60s that isn't gonna necessarily break the bank, but then there's a lot of aftermarket for it. So you can have something like a suspension that's upgraded to coilovers and whatnot, not like whatever leaf springs and just even iron bars and
for the purpose that I want it, like it doesn't even need coilovers. Like I want it to be comfortable, reliable, and that's really it.
Yeah, but comfortable and reliable. You also want it to actually handle and not like crash into a ditch. So
yeah, but the end purpose of this vehicle is not to go faster.
It's not to go fast. I'm saying so improving a car's suspension and handling is more of it's just as much of a safety thing as it is performance.
That's fair.
So I'm saying suspension, because a lot of those suspensions they're not really, they have tons of bump steer, like they didn't account for that.
Yeah, you're right.
They have, if you have an off-camber road, they were designed for like really skinny bias-ply tires.
Yeah.
So if you get something more modern suspension, then you can take advantage of stuff like disc brakes, like big disc brakes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
so that's totally fine. And I think like say a '60s Mustang with a more modern 302 swap or something like that would be a good candidate. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of aftermarket support for that.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, so I'd love to do a classic car thing. To be honest, I'm not a big muscle car guy.
I'm not either, but I still think that there is a certain demographic that would be very excited.
Oh yeah, I mean muscle cars. Are they? Is that a passing fad?
Yeah.
A small thing. Yeah. But muscle cars, I think I just I just don't get them. I need to talk to like Mike Musto or something. And
Yeah.
And
Well, okay, I sort of get them now that I've watched like literally every episode of Roadkill Garage.
so have I. I love
and Roadkill and all those shows on Motor Trend. Like I'm getting it now.
I still don't get it, but I will watch all those shows.
Yes, yeah.
Just because of the ingenuity and like the progress and all that stuff and the way to present, which is great. But the cars themselves, like, all right, we got this old Dodge thing, this Dodge truck, and we're gonna put a 383 in it. And I'm like, all right, that's nice. I mean, I don't know. It's not rev happy. It does burnouts, but like that's it. And the second they actually take it on a track, it's always garbage. It's always crap.
Well, yeah, but I think that's part of the fun.
Of course, it's part of the fun,
Yeah.
but you can have just as much fun in like a bone stock Civic. Like you can do burnouts in a bone stock Civic.
Yeah, come on now.
It's not going to
Come
sound.
on, don't flip the tables like me
It's
on
not.
this.
It's not going to sound like that, but
No,
but
come on.
it's definitely a yeah. So I mean, it's that's something I don't get. Maybe it's just because I haven't grown up with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
well, maybe if we delve into that and just kind of, experience it firsthand, maybe that'll change your minds.
yeah, I think so. All right. So what other questions we got?
Let me see here. Yep.
Are you having a conversation with yourself?
Yeah.
Yes. No. I can't. Any day now.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay.
I love how prepared we are for this.
Yeah, right. We're
Okay.
Tariq Hopkins wants to know favorite thing or car from the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Okay. So the Goodwood Festival of Speed. For those of you who don't know, it's just a giant car show in the UK. It's like crazy amounts of cars that are from the like chitty chitty bang bang era to to the brand new like robo race, race cars and whatever. So it's a lot of really, really awesome machinery. My favorite thing there probably be, honestly, I mean, the McLaren F1 is always a favorite for me. I love that it was just there, like sitting on a lawn where people can like touch it.
Yeah.
It's like just some random, picnic or something. And people are really on this car. And it's like a $12 million car. So the McLaren F1 is nice, but I loved the older F1 cars because when those got started up, like I love cars that are like super old and historic, but they still work just as well as when they were new. And the F1 cars make such a racket. It's insane how quick they are. But I like that. I like the Apollo IE, the Intensa Emozione.
Dude.
Yeah, that sounded.
I am obsessed with that car.
It's so it looks like it looks like an alien.
I
like
love it.
Yeah, it looks. Let's
Yes,
show.
please.
Let's show
And
everybody.
be sure to feature the exhaust tip as well.
Oh yeah, the exhaust tips is those is good.
Yes.
Okay, so Apollo
Intensa emozione.
Intensa. Okay, Emozioni. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
blimey,
Check
that's a
this
good-looking
out.
little goanna.
yeah, so this is the Koenigsegg. That's not it. But check that out.
Oh man,
That's insane.
that's so good.
That is just insanity. And like this is a car that somebody could buy.
God, how much is that car? Do you think? I'm sure it's millions.
Yeah, let me $2.7 million.
Oh man, if I had the money, I would immediately purchase one.
I mean, would you buy it if you had like $2.8 million?
No, if it was like all my money, no. But if I were,
What if it was like half your money? Like if you had $5 million, would you buy this?
absolutely,
You'd spend half your money on a car?
it's only going to appreciate.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that.
I'll fight you.
But yeah, check this out. So
Look at the interior. Just click that interior shot. That bright red. Oh,
do you want?
what kind of car is it? It's a Gumpert.
It looks. Well, I don't even. I think Apollo's not now its own thing.
What says Gumpert Apollo Intensa?
I know it says Gumpert Apollo, but I'm not sure if that's. Well, so this looks like you got swallowed by Satan.
Yep.
It's.
I'm here for that. I would only listen to black metal in this car.
Dude, look at that.
Just as soon as you start the car up, it's like Gorgoroth comes on. Like Venom. some like really terrible lo-fi, like old school black metal.
King Diamond walking through the way. Hello, grandmother. So,
who are you listening to? I'm listening to Belphegor. What? Listening to who?
It's the only thing this car plays. Wow. So when this thing starts up, I mean, I'd like to play a thing, but I think we're gonna get pulled off of YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They can Google it on their own.
Yeah, you can Google it. Just the way that this thing starts up. I don't even know what kind of engine this has, but I think it's like it's a V12, I believe. It's either V10 or V12, and
I think it's a Mr. Fusion.
It's a Mr. Fusion. It works on coffee grounds and garbage.
Yep.
But yeah, this looks very well. This is a GTA 5 mod. So
either way, it's still proportionate. Like it's still correct. Look at how amazing that is.
That's
I can't get over it.
But can you imagine, like, after driving this thing and then you go, like, just go up to a McDonald's or something? I'll have the number 3, please. And then you just like, now it's just your car.
I would literally take this car in any color combo. I would not care what.
Well, I don't think they have any bad color combos.
I'm just saying, like, someone could.
Is this one in white? Oh, it's a model.
Oh, but I need it.
That's really.
Yeah, but I need it.
That's really good. Can you imagine, like, trying to daily drive this thing?
I would give it my best.
You would try to daily this?
Absolutely. If I'm paying that much money for a car, I'm gonna drive it.
No, well, if you're talking about appreciate, you'd pay money for that car and then not drive it, and then you just look at it. And honestly, for that car, it might be worth it just to look at it and turn it on.
That's fair.
And then show your friends, like, let me show you my Apollo Intensa Emozione.
Intensa Emozione. that's for some reason that's the voice that comes into my head.
It's just like a muted Mario.
Lamborghini Gallardo.
It's Intensa Emozione.
Maserati quadruporte.
It's a Princess Peach. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's all I got for that.
Yes, and that's as much Italian as I know. So yeah, that car would be. I think I'd buy that, but not with $5 million. I don't think I'd buy it with $5 million.
I would probably spend half my money on that.
I would not, because that is silly.
I could live comfortably with 2.5 mil left.
You'd say so, but then you buy that car and then you realize how much an oil change is. And then you have to make YouTube videos for the rest of your life.
It's fine. I would get a lot of views with that car.
I just bought the cheapest Apollo Intensa Emozione in the country.
Sticker price is 2.7. I only paid 3.2.
You paid $500,000
more. So yeah, all right.
You paid more than the asking price.
I mean, people did it for the Focus RS. So,
yeah,
Alexander LaRocca wants to know, and I want to know this too. And if it's true,
Where do I know Alexander LaRocca? I think he's from Jalopnik, maybe.
I don't know. He says, any plans for a return of Art of the Flip?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I'd love to. For those of you who are wondering what that is, Art of the Flip was a series that I did on Jalopnik, a series of articles where I just take cars, fix them up, modify them, and sell them on for a profit. At least that's the idea. If it sounds like Wheeler Dealers, that's basically what it was.
Yep.
But that's kind of what started me on Jalopnik, and I'd love to do that as a video series. However,
gotta have a dealer's license to sell more than 10 cars a year in the state of Florida.
I can do less than 10. That's fine.
Yeah,
less than if we can do one every month and a half, that's fine. The problem is, oh, come on, man. Come on. He's just been a jerk now.
I had to.
Problem is, crunch. Yeah.
So the problem is,
Andrew loves screwing with me with his freaking sausage fingers.
my sausage nuts.
Damn these hands. All right. So, the problem is just logistically, shooting everything and making sure everything is on point. And honestly, I don't really care about selling cars, because then you have to find cars that not only have value for viewers, but you have to have value for value for the marketplace. So the marketplace wants cars that have a no story car. Mm-hmm. But me, I'm all about story cars. Mm-hmm. I'm all about cars that, had fire damage or something. That's an interesting story. At one time, this car was on fire. So Those are kinds of cars I like.
Kinds of cars I like.
Yeah. Can you tell I'm having a stroke? Those are the kinds of cars I like. And I think that you have to really have a fine line, and to find cars that are both good for a profit and also for a show, super hard. I mean, wheeler dealers, I think they probably cheat a bit.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, because
Maybe not the first couple of seasons. That seemed like the most honest wheeler dealers. Wheeler dealers we're both having strokes of genius.
Yes.
I think that the first few seasons were the most honest.
I think anytime you make a show, you have to be able to cut corners. You have to be able to make deadlines. And with cars, there's never deadlines. Like there something always goes wrong. And with the amount of cars that they turn around, either they have teams working on them, they have a shop, which is very possible. I mean, I know, like we both know Hendo. He worked on one of these shows locally.
Did he?
Yeah.
What show?
It was All Girls Garage or something.
Huh.
And they had...
So it wasn't All Girls Garage?
No. That's the secret.
It's the secret to the source.
Men do the work for them. No. I think it was one of the, in a build where they had other people do the work, and I think they just kind of topped it off or something. And but these shows are like cooking shows.
Yeah.
And they go, all right, well...
Because if anyone knows what it's like to work on a car, it never goes to plan.
No, never. And there's a million different things. Like if you buy a used car, and especially one that needs work and it's a low price, it's not just those 3 things that they fix in the show.
Yeah.
It's like, all we needed to get was some new suspension bushings, and we gotta,
fix the exhaust leak.
Yeah, fix the exhaust leak, and a wheel bearing, and bam, it's brand new. It's like, no. I bet you it needs paint work. I bet you it has like a transmission gear whine. It's like there's a lot of stuff that will make it from being like a perfect example where they ask top dollar. Like, I've seen these cars go for $30,000. I'm gonna be cheeky and ask 29. Like, how? Like, how many? Can you tell us how many miles this car has on it? Because they never say that. And when you have a glimpse of the odometer, it's always like, oh, that's why it was so cheap. It's like, oh, it has 170,000 miles on it. That's why. And then they're trying to sell it, and the guy's like, well, I like the car, but I'm not gonna give you 25. What do you say for 18? 18,
Why don't you go choke and die?
I think I could do that. All right, okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your. No, it's just unrealistic to think that you'd have a show that would show every single aspect of the car. I think you're right in that in the earlier shows they either omitted like the major stuff, or they because they didn't have a huge budget. They literally had like what is it, 1,000 pounds or less than that?
I think it was 15.
All right, so 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
But like 15, but all in though.
Yeah.
So they bought like cars for like
and parts.
Yeah,
and
so they bought a car for like $800, quid rather, and then they kind of like they did really kind of hack job stuff because then they upped the value a little bit, and that helped. But now it's just like they have an unlimited budget, which like if they have a car for $35,000, they'll buy for $35,000, and then they'll go, we can sell it for $42,000, and it doesn't matter if it has 100 man hours or whatever; those aren't worth anything.
Yeah.
So, I would like to do Art of the Flip, but it's hard to make, and so I mean, other than selling the cars, this is what I'm pretty much doing anyway. So it's just like Art of the Flip, except I'm keeping everything. So
well, you're definitely not selling a Lambo for a while at least.
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to sell a Lambo.
That's good.
Like ever.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's time to end.
Is it?
I believe so.
Oh, well then. All right.
All right. So if you'd like to contact us, you can do so at the social media links down below. And you can talk to us on Instagram and Twitter, or you can do so at carguystalk@gmail.com. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear all your interesting car stories, and also send us pics of your car so we can rate and or roast them. That's going to be a lot of fun. Should be coming up in a next episode, maybe even the next episode. We can peruse Car Domain, we can peruse Facebook, and we can look at some interdasting cars.
Yes.
Yeah. So until next time, this is me, Tavarish 4, Andrew Howell, reminding you guys to.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Don't forget to subscribe.